Okay, homeostasis. So our bodies have this phenomenal mechanism within it. And that is to keep our body in balance and to keep it in check. And from a physical perspective, this is really a matter of life and death. So, for example, eat a chocolate bar or a nice, delicious, rich piece of chocolate cake, and all of a sudden your blood sugar goes spiking. And then your subconscious mind says, no, wait a minute, sugar's too high, sugar's too high, sends a message to the pancreas, who then kicks out insulin, which brings the sugar back down so that the body can function at the proper level. And this is all well and good and works well until you do this too often, and then the pancreas gets tired and the body stops shooting out the insulin, and then the next thing you know, you have type 2 diabetes. But this is a mechanism that we intrinsically have to be able to keep our bodies in balance. Or your sodium starts getting too high and the thirst mechanism kicks out and says drink water, drink water, drink water, and you go and you drink water, and that brings your sodium level back under control. So it's a phenomenal little mechanism and process that we have, because the body really wants to be able to sustain life. So now our subconscious mind also has a process of homeostasis, but works a little bit differently. It interprets all change as danger. Danger, danger. And so every time that we go to do something that's a significant change from our normal routine or our habits, an alert goes off in the brain that says, hey, wait a minute, that's not right, something's wrong. And then we, in turn, say, oh, I don't want to do that. And we go back to what it is we normally do. And that could be okay if it was something that wasn't good for us. But when it's a conscious change that we're trying to make, our subconscious mind doesn't understand that this is a good change for us. And it doesn't understand that eating that piece of chocolate cake is bad. It just knows that we've been eating it every day for the last 6 years, and so it thinks that that's a part of the normal. And so then it starts craving that chocolate cake because it wants you to have it, because it doesn't recognize that the orange or the apple that you're eating in its place is actually better for you and is good. So what happens is, once the subconscious mind sends out that signal, and Bob Proctor refers to it as the terror barrier, and I really love that because I have experienced it. We usually stop, and they're like, okay, nope, not going to do that. It makes me really uncomfortable, right? And we think that we should be comfortable all the time. But really, if we're comfortable all the time, we're never, ever, ever growing. Because it's only by pushing through those uncomfortable things that help us to be able to grow and get to the next level. So if we are consciously making a decision that we are going to change the way that we approach our health, and that we're going to be more health conscious, and we're going to start making healthier decisions, then we just need to be aware when all of a sudden we get that signal and it's saying, nope, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And we have to say, yes, it's okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this anyways. And the more that we do it, that alert starts to become less and less and less, until finally our subconscious mind realizes that this is the new normal. And then as it really realizes that this is the new normal, the alert will go out when you try to eat that piece of chocolate cake, which is where we want to be, right? So it's really understanding, the power of our subconscious mind and how important it is to be able to get it on board, but also understanding that our subconscious mind and homeostasis works very different than our bodies. Our subconscious mind doesn't understand that change might be good for us. It simply tries to avoid change. It sends out that alert signal every time that you try to do something that is just different from the norm, and you have to then at that point jump in and say, nope, it's okay, this is a conscious decision, we want to move in this direction, and know that you're going to have to repeat that. You have to to be able to develop it into a habit. So it takes some time to be able to do that, and when you get that sense of just fear, and it is, and I'll give you an example. I was reading Mark Hyman's The Blood Sugar Solution a few years back, and I was putting my headphones on and going out for a walk while I was listening to it, and I was like, not going to make any changes yet, not going to make any changes yet. But gradually I was making changes as I was learning more because I was understanding it, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. And so I was starting to put some of the things into play, and then I started releasing weight. Well, all of a sudden, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that I have released this weight effortlessly so fast. It can't be good for me. I panicked. I 100% panicked. Like, nope, I got to start eating more food. I got to start eating more food, which is exactly what I did. Of course, I gained whatever it was that I had lost back, and I stopped that momentum that I was starting to build. And it wasn't until years later that I really understood why I was feeling that intense sense of fear. And that's exactly what it was. I was like, oh my God, I just put the brakes on with 2 feet. Halt, nope, not doing this, not good. And had I known, of course, I would be in a much different place today, but I didn't know. And so now, ever since then, I've been striving to get to that point again, since now I understand what that is. So, it's really important to understand our subconscious mind has so much power, and we have to be able to tap into that power and then take the power of our subconscious mind and really align it with our goals, because as we do that, we can start really achieving phenomenal things. I mean, far beyond just health and wellness. But that's really where we're focusing our subconscious minds and mind over matter is in health decisions that we make and making lasting health decisions. So a little bit about my story. It's been a year now. I am 50 pounds lighter than I was a year ago. Very, very pleased that I have kept the weight off, and that not only have I kept it off, but I am continuing on this journey of releasing weight. I still have probably about another 50 pounds that I'm looking to release, just so that I'll be at the most ideal healthy point in my life. I'm not married to the number, I am married to the feeling of health that I want to be able to achieve. Now, I attend karate, and when I started going to karate, I could not get down on the ground and get back up again. And so I had to modify things that they were doing in class just to be able to get through the classes. And fortunately, we have a really super dynamite sensei, and he's always been very accommodating. But, he'll also push and say, okay, well, what else can you do? So now I'm very pleased. I can get down on the ground and back up again. And the more that I do it, the easier I find that it is. Now, there's still some other things that I need to be able to do, because my ultimate goal is getting my black belt. And so that means that, I have some more agility that I need to be able to obtain. And I'm confident, absolutely confident that I will as I continue on this journey. Now, I had released 40 pounds before the holidays. I went away to Alaska, visited my daughter for 2 weeks. Then I went to Toronto. I went to Baltimore right before the holidays as well on business. And so food, right? I just food, everything all at me. And this normally, having, so many trips so close together, absolutely would have just put me back at square one, and I would have been starting all over again. So for me, being able to go through all of the holidays and maintain that weight that I had released through the holidays was huge. And then now I'm just, picking up and starting to release some more. And so I have released another 10 pounds in the last, month or two. So that is really, that's really great. And for me, the benefit of it is that I don't have to focus on my food. I never count my calories. I just have this, this inner awareness, and I just follow that intuition, and it's good. And sometimes I'll have something that I shouldn't have, but I don't beat myself up over it. I don't feel guilty over it. This is a lifelong journey that I am on, and so I've created really great habits, and those habits are really what's going to carry me through. And so if I have a one-off now and again, it isn't anything. It doesn't bother me a bit because I know that I feel good when I'm eating healthy, and my ultimate goal is to be able to feel good. So that's really what I'm looking to do and where I'm looking to go. So that is homeostasis, and to really be able to understand there is a disconnect between homeostasis in our bodies and homeostasis in our mind. So when you get that alert signal from your mind, don't just stop and say, oh, nope, I'm not going to do it. Really think about it, because if you walk through that fear, generally speaking, on the other side of that fear is a reward, is something that we gain and we grow from. And that's where we want to be, because as we keep doing that, we're bringing ourselves to a higher level and to a better place, and we're really able to then better realize the good health that God has given us, and be able to really capitalize on that and maximize on that. So that's homeostasis, and I think our next section we are going to be getting into whole foods. All right, so I'll see you back in a minute.